Welcome to Tomahawk DIY, everyone. I'm Mike. Today we're going to take a look at replacing the motor and seal at the bottom of a Maytag Quiet Series 300 dishwasher. Now I'll try and include some links where you could pick up a new motor or seal. Probably more often than not it'll be the seal that may get ruined and need replacement, but this will also show how to replace the motor as a whole. So let's take a look. To remove your upper basket, there's some tabs on each side here. Push in, you slide out this locking device, and that'll let you get this upper basket out. So you've got a little more room to get in the dishwasher and work. All right, to get this wand off, or to get this spinner off, you need to undo this little nut here. That can be a little bit tricky, but some pliers should allow you to get it loosened, so you can pull it off by hand. And once you pull it off, you can then run some water through this to clean things out. There's also some clips right here you can get popped off with the screwdriver. Be careful not to break them. That'll allow this whole assembly to come apart so you can clean out any plugged holes. Alright, so in here there's a number of screws, and they use a star screw head. And there's three of these screws, here, here, and here. So let's get that panel off. To get this piece out here, there's some clips. One right back here, one deal, and one up here on the top. So if you unclip those, and that's going to allow it back here to slide out. Now in our dishwasher, let's see what kind of gunk we've got. All sorts of buildup in here. Alright, to get the inner assembly out here, again you need your star-headed screwdriver, and there's 6 bolts around like this. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is take off this wheel right here. Again, it's still using a star head. It's actually a smaller one. And now what we're going to find under here is where we really need to do some cleaning. So to get this assembly out, it takes a little bit of force and some working, but you'll pop it off. It's got a little bit of weight to it. And what we're finding under here is the entire motor. But I recommend cleaning out this filter assembly while you are in here. I'll include a link to my other video to show how to clean it. Alright, so before you're messing with this, you want to make sure you've turned off the power to your dishwasher. Because this next step, you can see the wiring under here. We're going to take these clips on the side and unplug that. Let me also say, when you're turning the power off to your dishwasher, to make sure you've got it, if you don't know which circuit breaker is, push one of the buttons on the front of your dishwasher. Things should light up green, and then go turn the circuit breakers off. Make sure the lights turn off and don't come back on. That'll help you know you've got it, the power removed. Also, if you have a voltage tester, I'll include a link to one on Amazon. There's some great products that are will test the voltage without actually touching wires and just light up. And so those are a convenient way to hold next to a power cord and confirm that the power's gone. Now, in disconnecting this cord, I found that using some pliers I could get a hold of the tabs on each side here and there. You gotta be really careful so you're not breaking anything, but getting that pinched then allows this to be rocked back and forth enough and get the cord unplugged. Leaving this filter assembly on is helpful to remove the motor. Once the motor is out of the dishwasher, you need to remove these 2 countersunk screws to separate the filter housing from the motor assembly. The screws may be hidden under gunk or buildup. With the motor, make sure you get the gasket back on. There's some lips and edges inside the gasket that you need to line up carefully at the bottom of the motor so it should stay put. If the gasket's falling back down, you don't have it on quite right. And then be sure you line the holes here. Remember there are 6 screws that came out of the top, and then there's also these 2 countersunk holes there and there. Those 2 align with these 2 spots. So you should be able to get that. Back on, lined up. You'll know it's lined up when you can see into all 8 holes. And then let's go ahead and put these 2 countersunk screws back in, and that'll allow us to lift the whole motor assembly back in and get it tightened down. Alright, so with our motor back on, we're going to get the plug put back in, and we want to be careful. There's 3 holes that we need to line up on the bottom here. This big piece aligns with the red tab back there. You should hear this thing click when it's in. This wheel back on now. You have to get it lined up just right. There you go. Here, click down. Alright, remember you got to use 2 hands so you can tighten this down. There. With that back on, we're ready to put these 6 bolts in with this housing. And we're just putting them in just enough so that we get them all positioned before tightening them down. Make sure they're all lined up, and then we'll get them all tight. Alright, now we can put this assembly back on. We've got 3 holes here. Remember the 3 long screws? Those are securing everything down, holding the gasket around the motor tight. So it's important to get this one on good and tight. Okay, then we can put our wand assembly back in. Slide in through the back side here, and then clip it in place. Alright, we're going to put the wand back on. Remember there's this little screw, we use some pliers to help, or this little bolt, plastic bolt, to get off. So we'll get that tightened on. It should be good, thumb tight. Now after all that work inside the dishwasher, you may want to pull the bottom panel off. There's 2 screws, one there and one over here. So that you can shine a flashlight under and maybe put a paper towel or put a small thin pie tin or something to collect any water that drips, because if you have any leak, you want to know that so that you can go back and unfortunately go back in and get the gasket fully seated or replaced or whatever the problem is, because the last thing you want is a leaky dishwasher that goes on for years and ruins the floor. So there you have it. Hopefully that's been helpful in showing you how to replace the motor and or the seal at the bottom of your Maytag Quiet Series 300 dishwasher. I'll include some links where you can pick up parts online. I appreciate your support and supporting the mission of Tomahawk DIY, which is to help people build better lives. Find out more about that on our website. You can also leave comments, like the video, and hope you have a great day.